Welcome to Watching Wrestling Episode 2. This is WrestleVérité, Title Wave 24. I have no idea who anyone is. I doubt I've seen any of the performers before. This was just a random YouTube suggestion, and the thumbnail caught my attention. So why not? The show starts off with an in-ring promo segment between a guy who looks like some sort of wrestling pope and some nerd dad, whose temporary nickname, until I learn his actual name, is Dad Bod Allen. I like the book club version of the Bullet Club t-shirt. Reading is cool, kids. Pope dude says they have God on their side. Not sure where this is going. God's got a really bad wrestling record. He's 0-1 last I knew. He didn't even show up for his match with Shawn Michaels. How do you not show up for a tag with Shawn Michaels? That's like the hottest girl in school asking if you want to go out and you saying, nah, I'm good. The Pope guy has an assistant who's dressed like a bumblebee. They show highlights of Bumblebee versus Dad Bod Allen. Bumblebee wins. Pope dude does a promo and then two guys in a car do a promo. Both are thick with religious undertones. I dig the opening graphics package. Very summer feeling for a show recorded in August. The car dudes, Joseph Alexander and Derek Fury, aka The Summit, some of what I'm not exactly sure of, are in the ring with Pope dude. The cameraman sounds like he's fapping throughout the whole show because he's breathing so hard into the mic. A heckler gets called a sinner by the Pope dude. I'm still not sure what this gimmick is, but going around calling people sinners is good theater. The trio reveal tag team title belts. Pope dude calls out Leonard Literacy, aka Dad Bod Allen. That's a great name to go with that book club t-shirt. I bet he plays D&D. So this is a tournament show, and I hope it's better than whatever that Mania was that took forever and was a tournament. Round 1 is between Joseph Alexander and Derek Fury. Tag teams wrestling one another and religion and wrestling. Is Russo secretly booking indie shows nowadays? Leonard Literacy comes out to copywritten music, and I think he challenges to take on both guys to get a shot at the title? I'm confused. He says he'll quit the promotion if he loses. The crowd is here to entertain themselves. They beat up Leonard and take off his shirt. Some people pay money for that sort of experience. Leonard turns around and starts whooping ass and taking names. He even throws a dropkick. Popey McPope face cheats and the bad guys start tearing pages out of the book of Leonard's butt. Poperson looks like the long-lost brother of Judge Doom and Roger Rabbit. Man, I don't think I ever picked up this guy's name throughout the entire show. Apparently it's a three-way match because the tag team tries to pin one another. I feel like both these guys are fans of Tommy as the White Ranger more than the Green Ranger. Leonard ends the contest by hoisting up Derek and using his legs to knock down Joseph and Jude Von Jesus. I still have no idea what the guy's name is. He then slams Derek on Joseph and gets the pin. The crowd, though small, goes wild. Next up is Drew Dillon versus professional scumbag Shay Diesel. I thought his name said Professor Scumbag. There's a gimmick that can teach people a few things. Shay Diesel looks like Tank Abbott's cousin. He jiggles when he bunny hops around the ring as if he was on a pogo stick. Drew eventually knocks Diesel to the outside and tries to planche it with Diesel barely catching him. I feel like this ring canvas would be awful to wrestle on in the sun. It looks like it gets super hot. Diesel starts hurting on Drew for a bit and ends up grinding his ass in Drew's face. Some dude comes in and slides a can in the corner. Diesel does a lift up like he's gonna do a suplex, walks around with Drew in the air for a second, then puts him down and punches him in the head. Diesel puts Drew on the ropes and jaw jacks with the crowd, which of course results in him being on the receiving end of a flying clothesline. The crowd will not stop trying to hijack the show. Cane Guy interferes with the referee, giving Drew the chance to use the cane to knock out Diesel with a reverse DDT. Shouldn't the guy with the nickname Scumbag be the one who cheats to win? Drew shakes hands with Cane Guy. We are introduced to downtown Petey Brown, who is already out injured from a separated shoulder. He thanks his buddy Jason Rage for being there for him. Things get weird, and we cut to Petey sitting in bed talking about being attacked and having his shoulder re-injured. I guess the only breaks Pete can catch are in his anatomy. He's going to take on his attacker at some upcoming show. Gee, I wonder who that could be. To the surprise of no one, Jason turns on Pete. They show a highlight package, and Jason Rage ends up shirtless somehow. If this show wasn't already not for kids, it would be now. Pete wins. Now after that little jaunt through history, seeing that Jason's going to be in the next match versus El Nocturno, I'm scared already of what's about to come. I think Jason has gotten bulkier since that package. His pants are straight out of the CAW options and Anarchy rules on PlayStation, Dreamcast, and Nintendo 64. Jason runs away from conflict, and for a man who has rage in his name, he needs to add some rage to his facials. Test of strength, and I'm carrying even less than I did before. Don't believe in graphical hype, kids. Rage's offense has the energy of a toaster. Damn, that ring echoes. It kinda adds to the atmosphere though. I see Rage in underwear when Jason chops El Nocturno in the corner. Stuff happens, but most of it is so basic it's boring. Jason offers a back rake instead of a pile driver. Now they're just trying to bore me with headlocks. This needs cocaine and roids for some real raging. Nails choked by Rage, and he follows it up by going to the top rope and missing the elbow of misplaced Rage. I'll give Nocturno credit, he makes sure you see him move. Rage goes under the ring looking for something and he finds a chair. Since there's no commentary, I'm gonna assume that's Pete Brown stealing the chair out of Rage's hands and giving Nocturno the chance for a quick roll-up. Petey doing a crotch chop to the copyright-free Mexican music was good for a laugh. Looks like it's going to be a three-way for the WrestleVérité Championship tonight. I'm introduced to jaded James Morgan, and he looks like Mitten Squad with glasses and added weight. R.I.P. Mitten Squad, you magnificent Michigan-made bastard. Put a bucket on top of a mountain in Skyrim 6 Bethesda. I agree with Morgan's use of the finger quotes for the word talent. He's verbally attacking someone named Rock and Roll Kenny Lex, which is a mouthful to spit out. Good on Morgan nailing it. Morgan needs tanning spray. He'd probably be super easy to key out because of the contrast between his pale skin and the blue wall behind him. Morgan portraying his opponent as special got a chuckle out of me. Morgan takes off his glasses and says, "You're gonna learn what real pain is." I hope he's not offering his hand in marriage. I feel like being married to a dude named Jaded James Morgan would be pretty painful. James shows off his gloves, which make the face of Venom. It works as a visual pretty well. We get introduced to Kenny Lex and the setup is certainly something. Like the guitars and Pink Floyd stuff are cool, but everything else makes me wonder about this guy's love life and his savings plan for the future in ways I wish I didn't think about. Honestly, I kinda like the promo. Kenny certainly got that rock and roll 80s Coke Field promo style down at times. He needs a roadie as a manager. I hope he's always promoting an album that doesn't exist. If Kenny was 6'3" and 275 plus pounds of muscle, this would be an epic promo. The double devil horns work well into the ever-creeping religious tones that pop up in the show. So we get the match between Kenny and Morgan, and I thought enough of the pre-match promo to hope this might be fun. Let's find out. James, dressed like a 30-year-old high school emo kid, calls Kenny a virgin, and if he had just worked in the Hot Wheels into that bit, it would have been perfect. Morgan breaks out a toy guitar, equating it to be the value of Kenny's skill level, and the audience, trying to hijack the show, actually works in this little moment. Kenny gets the crowd hyped, and then my hopes sink like the Titanic as they screw up the first spot. Man, Morgan is quick with the insults to the audience. I think Kenny hit the greatest gimmick submission of all time in this match, the air guitar armbar. That finisher will sell out stadiums. Kenny's energy levels are amazing. This gimmick is growing on me quickly. Kenny gets a standing air guitar armbar, I guess, and it's just as awesome as the other one. Don't overdo it, man. They eventually end up outside and Morgan smashes Kenny's arm to the ring post. Dude, he just screwed up your ability to rock and roll. Start screaming how much you hate this man. The crowd comes up with several nicknames for Morgan. No Muscle James and Dollar Store James are my two favorites. Kenny keeps attacking the arm. This match might be a tad on the basic side, but there's certainly a psychology involved other matches in the card have lacked. I wonder how long Morgan's been wrestling. Morgan hits a reverse DDT style arm breaker. That was pretty sweet. Man, this match is really turning out so much better than I thought it was going to be, and I'm 100% putting that on the skills of Morgan. Morgan keeps attacking Kenny's arm like a man possessed. Morgan misses a move, Kenny takes over, and angers the ghost of Hulk Hogan by not beating him in the middle of the ring with a leg drop. Morgan needs to kick out of a 5-knuckle shuffle next for going in chronological order of main event guys' finishers to kick out of. Morgan breaks out the toy guitar from earlier, gets cut off. The ref turns his back, Morgan grabs the chain, but Kenny, seeing the beating coming, does an Eddie Guerrero drop down spot and picks up the win. Okay, this had everything you could like in entertainment factors, and Morgan is clearly a talented guy. It's on a bit of a curve, mind you, but this was all sorts of great. Hats off, gentlemen, hats off. We do a promo for the guy who brought out the cane earlier. He's some sort of mafia guy. Something with family, I don't know. The graphics say his name is Oliver Williams. We've got a match between Drew Dillon and Eric Only, King of Panda style. Why are you not wearing panda face paint, bro? This is pro wrestling. One of the few places such activities is allowed. You can't be working at Subway or balancing the checkbooks or whatever your 9 to 5 is, looking like you're a fan of Kiss or the ICP. Whoop whoop! Take advantage of this moment. Seize the day. Eric says I'm not using the cane to hit Dillon. I can do it myself. Drew, like a clown named Homie, don't play that, and whaps Eric with the cane. A reverse DDT gets the Duke. Eric says his piece to Oliver and he's going to prove that he can do it on his own in a hardcore match. I have no idea what a bamboo hell match is, but my Punjabi prison senses are tingling in my grapefruit-sized nether regions. Oliver cuts a promo in his car and he puts his managing of Eric's opponent, El Tigre, on the line, which is a good bit of storytelling. If my guy isn't better than you, what's the point of keeping him? Very solid logic. I like logic in wrestling. Oliver throws in another stip. If El Tigre wins, Eric's gotta take 10 bamboo lashes. Okay, that adds to the match. I'm not sure if Eric is playing up the panda thing by being calm and peaceful, but his response promo had the energy of an unplugged vacuum cleaner. Instead of blasting Eminem or Taylor Swift at our enemies, let's just play an Eric only promo on loop so they'll fall asleep. Adam West read the phone book with more energy. Heck, I'm speaking with more energy than he is. Eric breaks out a panda mask, so there's a point for doing something pro wrestling with being the King of Panda style. Some indie promoters get all these different King of Styles wrestlers and book them in a King of All Kings tournament, where the winner is the only one who is still allowed to be the king of any style he or she chooses. It's time for the bamboo hell match because the religious themes just have to keep hitting. Eric Only versus El Tigre. The promo pic for Eric Only makes me think of Haley Joe Osmond. Sweet baby Christ, Eric has on panda face paint. Finally, real wrestling territory. Bamboo sticks around the ring. The fans are still trying to be the star. Bamboo sword fight to start things off, and they are a-swingin'. The crowd chants USA to a guy playing a panda and a luchador mask wearing guy. God bless America, I guess. Tigre gets shoved into the bamboo shoots, and that honestly looked like it sucked to be on the receiving end of. It's hard to tell, but on the freeze frame, it kind of looks like he gets hit in the nuts. Ouch. Panda sets up Tigre in the corner, and he ends up taking a hip toss onto bamboo shoots. El Tigre starts talking in some pretty serious, authentic sounding Spanish that translates to roughly, "Now it's my turn, bitch," and he just unloads on Eric with a bamboo shoot. Them potatoes be thoroughly mashed. Eric smartly takes a dive into the bamboo, cross-bodied. Guess he learned a lesson there. Production blew an absolutely masterful shot of framing the action through the bamboo framing. Pity. Seriously, look at how good that is. Like, big Hollywood movies pay people lots of money to come up with shots like this, and you just zoomed in all the way. 2 F-bombs get dropped.
Fuck you, Oliver! Fuck you too!
Which probably aren't Jesus or Center of the Arts approved. The fight goes on and El Tigre goes and gets a chair. If you're gonna kill your match dip, use a gun next time for a more clean kill. Panda puts his hands up. He is smarter than your average bear too. He needs a cub for his act. As Tigre sets up a multi-chair bridge of bamboo sticks, the camera cuts away from some masterful framing with the bamboo. Again, sigh. Now, I am a betting man, and I bet El Tigre is still pissed off to high hell because he just whacks Eric in the back of the head with a bamboo shoot. That looked nasty. There's no muscle there to pad you. It's just a thin layer of skin and bone. El Tigre puts Eric on the top rope and they fight it out before Eric turns it into a powerbomb and puts El Tigre through the bamboo chair bridge. Of course, that's not the finish. Eric steps out to confront Oliver and out comes Morgan and Drew Dillon to make the save. Them some clubbering forearms there, guys. Eric turns the 3-on-1 beatdown around, hits 2, I don't know, some version of a Cody Rhodes finisher with a double underhook, and another F-bomb for the win.
This one's for you, fucker!
Sigh. They had the biggest spot of the night so far, and it's not the ending. I hate that just as much as Cornette does. A slight redemption when they start to pay off the threat from earlier as Drew and Morgan help Oliver by beating El Tigre down. Eric comes back and saves Tigre from further slaughtering. Eric helps Tigre to the back. If Eric got into a trios group, they should call themselves Panda Panda Panda. Up next is a Slam Natal Championship match between High Voltage Cat and what I hope is a mystery opponent and not the worst name in all of wrestling history. Cat gets an in-ring promo because her opponent can't compete and they're just going to give her the title. And she's all like, nah, I'm here to win that honor. Cat says whoever wants some can come get some. And out comes Jason Rage and a one-eyed referee, which is either brilliant or incredibly stupid. I have more rage watching Jason Rage wrestle than he puts out. Why do his shorts say Crazy Rage? The match is on and Cat offers a handshake. Rage slaps it away. Well, at least the narrative is simple enough to figure out this time. Cat holds a hammerlock for a while, and they get some pretty good mileage out of it. Rage with a kick to Cat's belly welly, and the crowd finally gets into watching the show instead of trying to be the third character in it. Great shot of Cat charging into Rage in the corner with what I think is a double knee. Seriously, great shot. Rage, however, looks slightly uncomfortable. Due to his lack of rage, can't Jason Rage just buy some darn suspenders and stop showing me his Goku Cobra Alley Viper color themed underoos? Jason complains about still being hurt from his first match. A guy in the crowd says nobody cares. That's some cold-blooded murderousness right there. As I'm watching the match, I must comment on the amount of proper wrestling attire I've seen on this show. Not everything is the best, but there's some good pro wrestling styled outfits on this show. Hats off to who's ever making them. Rage beating on a woman is really drawing a reaction from the crowd. I have to give Cat props. I enjoyed her performance. She's got a great sense of storytelling using her body as her instrument. She makes movements and she makes them matter. It's very skillful. Jason blows a hole in my underwear theory and lets the world know he's a fan of Hanes Men's X-Temp 4-way performance stretch mesh boxer briefs. Checking on eBay, the price for you to own a pair is around $32 and it's part of a 3-pack. Cat hits a nice DDT and they do a double down because they both look tired. They do some back and forth and it ends up with Cat hitting a Hurricanrana and some double knees to Rage's face. They still ain't used the one-eyed ref. I'm getting a little bit miffed by that. It's like that bit in The Simpsons with the Japanese mob outside the Simpsons house and Homer's like, I don't want to leave because as soon as I do that little guy's gonna do something cool and I don't want to miss it. That's how you get me feeling when you're a bad guy dragging out a freaking one-eyed ref. I expect him to do something. They blow a spot and Rage makes a little speech about not being able to say what he wants because it's kids programming. There were 3 F-bombs in the last match, bro. Cat hits a move I don't know and wins. The crowd actually cares. I'm not certain, but methinks they redid the ending there. Still, it worked. I know I haven't exactly been kind to a lot of this show, but Cat and Rage got the crowd invested more than a lot of other things. A+ job there. Still, what was the point of Rage dragging out the one-eyed ref? Why did you not use the bloody one-eyed ref in that match? I mean, you went through all the trouble to, make it obvious. Why did you not use it? And now it's time, thank God because this show is long, for what I believe is the main event. Leonard Literacy locks up with Drew Dillon and El Nocturno. My money's on Leonard. I don't think I've seen a lot of 3-way dances on indie shows. I've seen some, but it's been a while. Dillon tries to get Leonard to team up with him, and it gets Leonard busted in the head. Isn't Leonard supposed to be the good guy? Nocturno and Leonard go back and forth, and Dillon sneaks in for a pin that he ain't getting. Dillon stays gone, and Nocturno keeps dishing out the pain. Dillon sneaks in for another pin. Nocturno gets tired of that and tries to toss him. It all leads to a triple sunset flip. Okay, that was fun. Even the crowd was like, that was a really good move. Dylan uses a chair on Nocturno on the outside of the ring to give him some one-on-one time with Leonard in the ring, who the crowd roots for to make his comeback. Dylan ain't having that. Nocturno tries to come back in but gets knocked into the chairs. The second time he just takes a fall to the floor. Leonard fires up and hits an enziguri. As a reader, Leonard should know that ain't enough to win a pro wrestling match, let alone a three-way one. Dylan hits a float over DDT for 2. The third time's the charm for Nocturno, and he counters Dylan and gets back inside to help beat on Dylan with Leonard. Leonard and Nocturno get into a fight because Leonard wouldn't let Nocturno get the 3. Nocturno gets out of a fireman's carry, gets ready to hit a something, and then Dylan comes in with the old chair. The ref isn't one-eyed, so I don't know how he didn't notice that blatant of a DQ. Leonard scoops up a chair-wielding Dylan and hits a whatever that Cena move was called that's a version of the Death Valley Driver for the 1, 2, and 3. That was perfectly fine pro wrestling. And of course, the ending is ruined by Leonard's theme music being copywritten. Nocturno is mad, but offers a hand to Leonard. He takes it, and Nocturno raises his hand up. Dylan comes back and chairs Leonard in the back several times. Dylan stomps on Leonard's hand to take the title from him, and Leonard literacy lives down his name by not protecting himself on a chair shot. Save your brain power, kids. Dylan walks off with the title. We close the show with Leonard slowly making his way out the ring and to the back. You know, I can't be mad at this show. It had a lot of fun stuff and charm. Shame the production values weren't better. B-.